What's going on, everybody? What's going on? And welcome to Reactivate the Moment. Listen, we are here every Monday at 12 p.m. noon for your midday motivation. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining here. I need you to do me a favor. I need each and every one of you to like, share, and comment on this broadcast. Do it right now, right now. Like, share, and comment on this broadcast. Tell a friend to tell a friend what goes down right here every Monday at 12 noon on Reactivate the Moment TV. I like to call it Reactivate the Moment TV because that's just me. So listen, I want to thank you all for tuning in. Do me a favor, make sure you are subscribed and you are linked in to all of my pages. My page on Facebook, my name Marcus Ford, my Reactivate the Moment page on Facebook, as well as my Reactivate the Moment page on Instagram at Reactivate the Moment. Also, on my YouTube channel at Reactivate the Moment. You can tune in there as well. You can share broadcasts. You can go back and see former live broadcasts that you may have missed. And I hope you don't miss out. I hope you are telling everybody what goes down right here, 12 noon every Monday afternoon. Listen, I don't want to hold you long, but before I do, I have to give a quick shout out to three special people. I want to first shout out my aunt. Her birthday was this past week. I want to give her a happy birthday shout out, my aunt Carla. If you know her, you know I love my aunt Carla, so you know how near and dear she is to my heart. But happy belated birthday, Aunt Carla. Also, I want to shout out to my niece, my goddaughter, Kennedy. Her birthday was yesterday. I want to wish her another happy birthday. I made a post about her earlier yesterday, but I want to wish her another happy birthday. And today is my sister April's birthday. Today I want to shout out to my sister April Carswell, Dr. April Lachey Carswell. Happy birthday. I love each and every one of you all, and I hope you all have had and will have an amazing birthday. Listen, today I want to kind of dig deep and talk about your mind. I want to talk about our minds, and just to reiterate and just to really kind of take a deep dive into how your mind is either a weapon or a wound. Your mind here is either a weapon or a wound. It's either a weapon or a wound. We have to understand that every battle that we face, every battle that we face right now didn't start in your life. It started in your mind. Every battle that you faced, every battle that you've come against, every battle that you've experienced, it did not start in your life. It started in your mind. What do I mean? What I mean by that is that whenever we are facing battles, whenever we are facing situations, whenever we are facing circumstances, it all starts on how we think and how we look at our battle, how we look at our circumstance, how we look at our situation. And because of that, it causes us to not only start a battle physically, not only start a battle in front of us, but we start battles in our mind. We start battles in our mind to the tune of we don't know what or who we're fighting. We don't know what or who we're dealing with. We don't know how we're going to handle the battle. So we have to understand that before you ever lose externally, you have to lose internally. Before you lose externally, you will lose internally. Before you lose a fight, before you lose your circumstance, before you lose in life, you're going to lose internally first. Why? Because your mind is jacked up. Your mind looks at and thinks at things or thinks about things in a certain way. Your mind looks at and thinks about things in a certain light. And what we have to do is we have to get a hold of and get a grip of our mind, because our mind is what's going to dictate our future. Our mind is going to dictate how we handle everything externally. And before you lose externally, guess what? You lose here. You're going to lose here first. You're going to lose here before you get beat up. It's a lot of boxers would tell you that boxing is more so a mind game than it is a physical game. They say it's 90% of mental and 10% physical, because you're trying to outwit your opponent. You're trying to outwit and outcraft the person that's in front of you. So you're trying to figure them out, and you're trying to not allow them to figure you out. So you're battling. You're having a issue. You're having an argument in your mind, trying to figure out how you're going to beat your opponent. So that's why it is important that we get a hold of our mind. That's why it's important that we understand that our mind can either be a weapon, or our mind can be our downfall. Your mind can be your weapon, or your mind can be your downfall. So we really have to understand, before you lose externally, you're going to always lose internally. Your mind is not neutral. Listen to me clearly. Your mind is not neutral. It's either fighting for you or fighting against you. See, we get to this place in our lives where we just feel like that our mind is just, that we control everything. We can control our thoughts. We can control the outcome. We can control the situation. I always tell people that you can't control how somebody sees you, how somebody feels about you, and what they say about you. You can't control any of those things. So we have to realize that our mind is a neutral place. Our mind is going to either do one or two things. It's going to fight for you, or it's going to fight against you. It's going to give you thoughts to help you succeed, or your mind is going to help you fail. Your mind is going to either catapult you, or your mind is going to cause you to fail or cause you to drop. Your mind is either going to push you forward, or your mind is going to hold you back. It's all about how we view things. It's all about how we look at our situation and how we view the outlook of our situation. Because when you have it here, guess what? It comes out physically. When you think about it, it comes to pass. When you realize it in your mind, you're gonna push it out physically into the world, into the universe. So we have to understand. We have to get to a place where we realize that our mind is not neutral. Our mind is not neutral. It's either going to fight for us, or it's going to fight against us. Either it's going to help you, or it's going to harm you. But we have to get to a place where we realize and utilize our thoughts, utilize what we have, utilize our intellect, utilize how we view life, because it's either going to hurt you, or it's going to bring you nothing but success. But today, I want to ask you all a question. The real question today is: have your mind been a weapon, or has it been a wound? Has your mind been a weapon, or has your mind been a wound? Think about what you've gone through this past week. Think about what you've gone through so far this year. Think about what you've gone through this morning up until this point. Has your mind been a weapon? Have you used your mind as a weapon, or has your mind been using you as a wound? Has the mind been a wound to where it's allowed certain thoughts to reoccur? It's allowed certain things to happen. It's allowed certain thoughts to just dance and tap dance in your head, thinking that things are going to be one way, but it's not. Thinking things are going to be another way, but it's not. Has your mind been a weapon today, or has your mind been a wound? We have to think about those things. Just do me a favor, comment. Let me know you're here. Let me know you're here. I tell you, I'm here. I'm reactivating right now. See, what we have to understand about our mind, we have to understand about our mind is that the battlefield is always internal. The battlefield that we face is always internal. It starts here. Life is lived from the inside out, not from the outside in. Life is lived from the inside out, meaning that you live your life based on how you feel. You live your life based on what you think. A lot of us do not make decisions just because on a whim. Just we think about it, just because I want to do this just because. No, a lot of our decisions, a lot of our choices are thought out. A lot of our choices are thought out. Think about this. Think about the choices you made in whom you decide to have a relationship with. Think about the choices you made on what kind of car you wanted to have. Think about the choices you made on what school, what college you wanted to go to. Think about the choices you made on what type of house you want to live in. We all think about things. We all live our lives. We all live our lives internally. And what happens is, based off what we internalize, it causes things to come to fruition. So if you internalize the type of choice you make, if you internalize the type of decision you make, guess what? The decision can happen based on you, based on what you think, based on what you feel, based on how you react. You don't respond to life as it is. You respond to life as you think it is. You don't respond to life as it is. You respond to life as what you think it is. Because if you responded to life as it is, you would take things at face value. If you responded to life as it is, you would just look at it and just respond on how you see it. But because you don't respond to what you see, you respond on what you think it is. Have you ever been in a situation where you looked at your life, you looked at things, and you thought it was going to be a certain way? You thought that you looked at and said, "Man, this problem is too big for me. I'm looking at this bill that I have that I don't have the money for. How am I going to pay it? That's the situation. I'm looking at this relationship. I don't know if they really love me a lot or not. Should I stay in it? That's the situation, because we're looking at it and we see it for what it is. We don't see it for what we think it is. Because in other words, if we look at a bill and saw that we saw the bill was a certain amount, but we didn't have the money, we would think that, okay, I have to find a way to pay the bill. If you're in a situation and you're looking at your situation saying, or in a relationship rather, and you're looking at your relationship saying, I don't know if this person loved me or not. Okay, well, you're looking at it saying they don't love me. But if you think about it, you can say, what can I do to change how this person feels about me? In other words, you have to look at life in other ways. You can't look at life and take it for face value all the time. That's our problem. Some of us take life at face value and we look at it for what it is, and we don't look at it for how we can transfigure life into how it benefits us. Life can benefit you, but you have to start here in your mind first. Start here in your mind. Many people are losing battles that haven't even happened yet. A lot of us are losing battles that haven't even happened yet. We haven't even caused the battle. We haven't even decided whether or not we won, because we've lost it and it haven't even occurred. We've lost the situation and it hasn't even happened. Anxiety, for example. Anxiety is living in imagined outcomes. Anxiety is living in imagined outcomes. The reason why a lot of us deal with anxiety, because we look at we see the outcome sometime before the situation even occurs. We put it on ourselves, ladies and gentlemen. We put it on ourselves. Let's be honest. A reason why a lot of us deal with anxiety, because we put that on us. We think, like my wife, for example, she has bad anxiety on flying planes. She does not like flying on planes. We like to travel. Yes, we love to travel and everything like that. But when it comes to plane rides, I have to kind of, hold her hand and be there with her and support her, because her anxiety has gotten bad over the years. Because in her mind, the way the plane takes off and the turbulence that she feels in her mind, things are going to go haywire. Things are going to go bad for us. And not saying that there's anything wrong with that, because that's a feeling that you have to overcome. But a lot of times it is things that we imagine to be. Anxiety is living in imagined outcomes. Somebody put in the comment section for me. Anxiety is living in imagined outcomes. We put that on us. We put the anxiety on us. Not only that, here's another thing for you. Overthinking is self-sabotage disguised as preparation. I'll say it again. Overthinking is self-sabotage disguised as preparation. A lot of us overthink a lot of things. We overthink a lot of things. We overthink how we live. We overthink what we eat. We overthink what we drink. We overthink some of the smallest things. We overthink a lot because we tend to want to be prepared. But when you overthink, it means you self-sabotage yourself, because you're thinking so far ahead that you're trying to create a outcome, and you're trying to create an outcome of a situation when you haven't even lived through the situation yet. How can you call yourself to survive something that you haven't experienced? I can't speak on how to survive drug addiction if I've never used drugs. I can imagine how it would be. I can imagine how it would feel. I can imagine what I would have to do to survive, but I couldn't do it because I don't know anything about it. So what I do is I self-sabotage myself by putting myself in a situation that doesn't even exist, thinking that I'm preparing myself to not only go through the situation, but I'm thinking I'm preparing myself to overcome the situation. That's the problem that we have. A lot of us overthink certain things to where we realize and where we see that we are in a situation, and because we are in this situation, we have to find a way out. We put plans and pieces and puzzles together to try to find a way out, when in actuality and when in reality the situation that doesn't exist. Why? Because we put ourselves in there. Stop putting yourself in places that you don't even need to belong. Stop putting yourself in circumstances that don't even involve you. We invite ourselves in too many times. On things that don't even occur or belong to us. It doesn't. We have to get to a place where we realize that a broken mindset will bleed into a perfectly good life. Yeah. I'm gonna say it again. A broken mindset can bleed into a perfectly good life. When you have it in your mind that a thing is going to be what it is, instead of you trying to, make a light or make good of the situation, you end up bleeding on yourself. You're living and you're walking in this certain light. You're walking in this certain life. You're walking a certain lifestyle. You're living a certain lifestyle. You're being a certain way. But because of your broken mind, you're causing the brokenness to bleed on you. Meaning that when your mind becomes broken, guess what? Your heart becomes broken. And if your heart becomes broken, guess what? Your life is broken. It's like a domino effect. The reason why you're heartbroken in a relationship, the reason why you're heartbroken in a friendship, the reason why you're heartbroken over losing a job, the reason why you're heartbroken of so many things that happened in your past and is happening right now is because you've caused your mind to bleed on your good life. Guess what? Even though you may feel heartbroken, even though you may feel discouraged, even though you may feel, excuse me, you may feel pain, even though you may feel anxiety. Guess what? You can still declare that I'm still here. If that's you, put that in the comment section. Even though I'm broken, I'm still here. Guess what? You're still living a perfectly good life because you're breathing, you're alive, you're not dead. You're not laid up in a hospital anywhere. You are a walking, talking miracle. Why? Because you did not allow your mindset to bleed into your good life. We got to stop doing it, y'all. We got to stop allowing our mindset to bleed into our good life. We have to. We have to. Here's how we realize. Here's how we realize where our mind becomes a wound. Here it is. This is what it looks like when your mind becomes a wound. When your mind becomes a wound, you start talking negative self-talk. You start talking negatively. Start saying things, I'm not good enough. I'm not qualified enough. I always mess things up. I always do wrong. I've always been bad. I've always been an underachiever. You start doing negative self-talk. You're creating a wound. Your mind has become a wound because you're talking negative to yourself. Your mind has become a wound because you're talking negative to yourself. We got to stop doing it. You are enough. Another way, here it is. Another way your mind become a wound because you keep replaying past failures. You're replaying past failures. And because you're replaying past failures, guess what? You're opening up that same wound. It's as if, remember, as a kid or even as an adult, when you hurt yourself, when you get a scar and it begins to bleed, eventually the bleeding has to stop, right? Eventually the bleeding has to stop. When the bleeding stops, the scar, the wound begins to heal. Once it begins to heal, you see a scab forming on that scar. Here it is. We won't allow our wounds to fully heal because we keep pulling the scab off of the wound. Here it is. How you know that your wound is fully healed is when the scab falls off by itself. When the scab, and a lot of times, here it is, y'all. A lot of times we don't even realize that the scab is gone. We just see the scar. But what the scar does, the scar reminds us not only that we have a wound, but our scar reminds us that we've been through something and we survived. I don't know who I'm talking to today, but I need you to understand you have to stop replaying those past failures. If you replay those past failures, guess what? You'll relive those past failures. And I don't know about you, but I refuse to relive what I went through. Good God. I refuse to relive what I went through. Why? Because I overcame it. I have a scar. I have a wound. I had a wound. I have a scar, but it healed. Why? Because I refuse to relive what I went through. Put it in the comments. I like that. Put it in the comment section. I refuse to relive what I went through. I refuse. Here it is. Another way where your mind becomes a wound is when you assume the worst before anything happens. Hey, how many of us been there? When you assume the worst before anything ever happens. You assume the worst thing possible before anything ever happened to you. You ever been sick? And because you were sick, you assume, oh Lord, I got this. That means I got such and such. When it could be a common cold. You ever been to a place in your life where you thought you weren't gonna make it out? And because you've seen other people go through what you're going through, You put your hurt, you put their hurt on you, you put their pain on you, you put their frustration on you, and guess what? You start assuming that because they didn't go through or they didn't come out of it, that you're not going to come out of it. Well, I'm here to tell you that you can and you will come out, but you have to not. You have to stop assuming. You have to stop assuming the worst before it happens. We can't assume. I'm not going to. There's a quote that says, "When you assume, you make a blank out of yourself." But you get it. You get it. I'm not even going to repeat it, but you get it. Assuming the worst before things happen. Here's another way. Here's another way where our mind becomes a wound. When we are comparing ourselves constantly. When you start constantly comparing yourself, that's when you create an open wound for your mind. That's when your mind starts bleeding on you because you start comparing yourself to other people. No, God created only one of you. God didn't create a doppelganger of you. There's only one of you. There's only one. God didn't if he would have created two, he would have y'all live together and be Siamese twins or something. God didn't do that. He created one. So stop comparing yourself to somebody else. Why? Because your life is not their life. Your faith is not their faith. Your belief is not their belief. Your mind is not their mind. So is your mind a wound or is your mind a weapon? Stop comparing yourself. Stop comparing yourself. Here it is. Here it is. Another way where your mind can become a wound, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm hoping you hear me clearly. Another way your mind can become a wound is if your mind can rehearse pain so much that it feels real even when it's not. Your mind can rehearse pain so much that it feels real even when it's not. I've seen so many documentaries and shows and clips and movies where people have put themselves in made themselves feel a certain way that wasn't even real, that didn't even exist. You put conversations in your head that didn't even happen. You put yourself in situations that didn't even need you in it, and you weren't even involved in the situation. Stop putting yourself in places you don't belong. Matter of fact, stop thinking things in your mind. Stop thinking things that doesn't even exist. They don't exist. So why do we continue to put ourselves in it if it doesn't exist? Here it is. I'm telling you. If you don't heal what hurt you, your mind will keep reopening the wound. If you don't heal what hurt you, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Your mind, yes, your mind will keep opening the wound. It'll keep opening it because we haven't fully healed. We have not fully healed. And you wonder why. You keep reliving the same thing. You keep reliving the same thing. Why? Because you have not let what hurt you heal. Matter of fact, let what hurt you heal you. We need to get to a place where we let the things that hurt us, we need to flip the script and allow that same thing to hurt us to heal us. But we have to start in our mind. We're talking about mind, meaning is your mind a wound or a weapon? Here it is. This is how we know, ladies and gentlemen, this is how we know when our mind can become a weapon. How our mind can become a weapon. This is what it looks like when your mind become a weapon. When you start speaking life over yourself. That's when you start utilizing your mind as your weapon. When you start speaking life over yourself. When you go from I can't to I can. When you go from I won't to I will. When you go from I'm a failure to I'm a winner. When you go from depression to having joy. That's how you change your mind from a wound to a weapon. You start weaponizing your mind by speaking life for yourself. You got to speak life over yourself. Not only that, but you got to choose discipline over your feelings. Listen. I know a lot of us don't like to hear that. We have to choose discipline over our feelings. Meaning that you have to hold your feelings in control. You know how they tell you, hold your tongue. Don't say nothing when you want to react. You got to choose discipline. Discipline your mind to where your feelings don't overtake your thoughts. Because if we allow our feelings to overtake our thoughts, guess what happens? We start to do and say, say and think stupid things. How many of you been in a situation where your feelings overtook your thoughts and you said, and they always tell you, you're going to say something that you're going to regret. You're going to say something that you're going to regret. That's right there. I see you. Bible says, put on the helmet of salvation. Save your mind before you say something you're going to regret. I promise you. Ice Cube said like this, you better check yourself before you wreck yourself. Y'all know it. Y'all know it. Come on, y'all don't act like y'all don't know. The next thing how we know our mind is a weapon is that we train our thoughts instead of trusting our thoughts. Train your thoughts. You got to train them. Train your thoughts. Meaning that when you train your thoughts to think positive things. When you trust your thoughts, you're going off of instinct. When you train your thoughts, you're going off. When you train your thoughts, you're going off of not only not your instinct, but you're going off of what you've practiced. What you've practiced. Because when you trust your thoughts, you start thinking that person that's in your life is good for you. You see them doing negative things, but all you keep saying is, they'll love me. I know they love me. I know they will. But when you train your thoughts, you start seeing the little things, the little nuances of them. You start reading in between the lines of certain things that they say. You're starting to see how they move and how they act, and you're starting to understand. Oh, so this is how we doing. You got to train your thoughts instead of trust your thoughts. Another way that our mind becomes a weapon is that we see obstacles as opportunities. Every obstacle that you face, every obstacle that you go through, every obstacle that you experience, it's an opportunity for you to succeed. It's an opportunity for you to do better. It's an opportunity for you to achieve more, achieve greater. Every obstacle. Stop looking at your obstacles as something that's in your way, but look at your obstacles as something that you can overcome. Because guess what? When something is in your way, it becomes hard to move. When something is in your way, it becomes hard to move. But when you think of it as something that you can overcome, guess what? You find a way around it. I don't know who I'm talking to today, but some of us need to get to a place where we find our way around our obstacle instead of looking at our obstacle as something that we can't overcome. You can overcome every obstacle you face if you put your mind to it. It's another way that we can train our mind to be a weapon is that we don't have to believe every thought we think. Hey man, listen, I've been there myself, man. I've been there myself. We cannot believe every thought we think. If we believed everything that we thought, man, our life would be in so much jeopardy and so much turmoil. We could just think about it, y'all. If we believed everything we thought, come on now. It'll be so bad. It'll be so bad. But what we have to realize is this: a trained mind can take you where talent never could. A trained mind can take you where talent never could. You can have all the talent in the world. You can have all the things. You can have all the physical gifts in the world. But if your mind isn't into what you're doing, you will never go far. If your mind isn't trained to where you're looking at your situations differently, you're looking at your outcomes differently. You're not going off of feeling. You're not going based off your instinct. You're not going based off of your thoughts solely. When you start training your mind, guess what? It will take you so far. It will take you so far, further than you ever could think of. But we got to train our mind, ladies and gentlemen. We got to train our mind. Not only that, we have to shift our mind. How do we shift our mind? We shift our mind by identifying the lie. We shift our mind by identifying the lies that we've told ourselves and that we've told others. The lies not only that we've told ourselves, here it is, but the lies that we've lived because of what we thought. We shift our mind from the lies that we live because of what we thought. That's how we shift. That's how we do things. We shift our mind. Another way that we can change our thinking is that we have to realize, and not only that, we have to realize that awareness is the first step to change. Awareness is the first step to change. You have to be aware in order for you to change. Not only that, but you have to interrupt your pattern. Interrupt the pattern, y'all. Catch the negative thoughts in real time. When you feel a negative thought creeping in your mind, catch it and get rid of it. When you feel that anxiety creeping on you, catch it and get rid of it. Catch it in real time. I know you're saying, hey, it's easier said than done, but guess what? It can still be done. It's easier said than done, yes, but it can still happen. But we got to catch it in real time. Catch it before you do it. Catch it before you say it. Catch it. Replace the I can't when I'm learning how to. No, I can't do it right now, but guess what? I'm going to learn how to do it. I'm learning how to do it. But we got to catch it. Also, we got to feed our minds differently. Feed our minds, man. Watch the things you consume on a daily basis. Watch the things you consume on a daily basis. Watch the music you listen to sometimes. Watch the conversation you have. Watch the company you keep. Watch all of that on a daily basis. Because I am telling you, when you catch it and when you're able to do that, your mind and your life will be so much easier. Life will be so much easier. Because what it'll do is it'll do this. It'll allow you to speak it before you see it. It'll allow you to speak certain things that you want before you see it. The Bible says we have to speak those things that be not as though they already are. We got to speak it before you see it. Faith is the substance of things hoped for. Here I'm going to preaching now, but the evidence of things we don't see. We don't see things happening, but if we speak it, if we say it enough, it'll happen. If you say I'm healed enough, guess what? Your mind will trigger nerves and neurons in your body to heal you. If we say it enough. If we say that I'm going to be rich, guess what? Your mind will start pulling out plans that you didn't even realize that you were capable of to go out and get the money and get the job and get the businesses. If you say it enough. If you say that I'm loved instead of they love me, say I'm loved. And what your mind will do, your mind will cause you to not only think that you're loved, but your mind will cause you to feel that you love. Why? Because you'll start appreciating yourself more than anybody could ever appreciate you. You won't have to receive and want validation from somebody else. You will already have it. Why? Because you feel it within yourself. Why? Because you already said it before you saw it. Speak affirmations over your life. Speak declarations and watch it change your perspective. Say it before you see it, ladies and gentlemen. I can't stress it enough. Not only that, but we have to be consistent. We got to be consistent. Everything, all the steps that I've given you, everything that we talked about from this point before, you have to be consistent with it. You have to train your mind. You have to discipline your mind, discipline your thinking. Turn your mind into your weapon and not keeping it as your wound. We've kept our mind as a wound for too long, to the point where we start living and walking in a life of woundedness. You walk around with your head held down because your mind is wounded. You walk around in discouragement because your mind is wounded. You walk around in unhappiness because your mind is wounded. Turn it into a weapon. It's not a one-day fix, y'all. It's going to take daily training. Train your mind. Just like how we work out and go to the gym and train our body. We have certain days, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, maybe upper body day, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, maybe leg day. You got to train your mind. Just like you would train your body. Train your mind. Train your mind and watch things change. Watch things change, man. I'm telling you. Because if you don't, you're going to miss opportunities. If you don't train your mind, you're going to have broken confidence. If you don't train your mind, you're going to self-sabotage yourself. You have to train your mind. Once we do that, we'll realize that an undisciplined mind will talk you out of the life you prayed for. When you do that, when you don't train your mind, it will talk you out of a life that you prayed for. I don't know about you, but I prayed for a good life. I want a good life, but I have to keep my mind focused. I got to keep my mind trained. Put it. I like to put in the comment section, y'all. Train your mind. Train your mind. Train your mind. Because what'll happen is your mind will either be the reason you rise or the reason you remain. The choice is yours. Your mind will be the reason you rise or the reason you remain. What does that mean? Your mind can be the reason you catapult and go higher, or your mind can be the reason why you remain in low self-esteem, the reason why you remain having anxiety, the reason why you remain depressed, the reason why you remain discouraged. Your mind, you, the one I'm talking to, your mind can either cause you to rise or it can cause you to remain the way you are. I don't know about you, but I don't want to live a life like that, because I have to understand that we have to understand that we have to turn our mind into a weapon. Stop allowing our mind, ladies and gentlemen, to be a wound over our life. Weaponize your mind. Speak positive. Get the negative thinking out of you. Get the negative people away from you. You know how they say you got a positive vibes only. Have a positive mindset. Have positive vibes. Because if you don't, guess what? You are guaranteed to fail. But we have to put our mind. You know how they say, as a man thinketh, so is he. It's exactly, that's true to the point. As you think you are, you will become. So if you think you're a success, you will be a success. If you think you're a failure, you're going to be a failure. But you have to put your mind to it. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining me today. Thank each and every one of you for interacting with the broadcast. I need you to do me a favor: like, comment, and share this video right now. Share this broadcast right now. Tell a friend to tell a friend what is going down every Monday at 12 noon, right here on Reactivate the Moment. I need you here. Tune in 12 noon sharp, right, for your midday motivation. You may be on your lunch break. You may be headed home from work, whatever you are, wherever you are. Tune in every Monday at 12 noon for Reactivate the Moment. I thank each and every one of you for joining me. I thank each and every one of you for commenting. Thank you for your thoughts, your prayers. Keep me in your prayer. I got some big things brewing, y'all, coming up within the next few weeks, next few months. Hopefully I'll be able to announce them soon. But just hold on. I got some things coming. But do me a favor, when you do it, tag me, tag my page, Marcus Ford, Reactivate the Moment. Also follow me on Instagram at Reactivate the Moment, and my personal page, mford23 on Instagram. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, you can email me at reactivatethemoment@gmail.com. Reactivatethemoment@gmail.com. I want to thank all of you for tuning in. I hope and I pray to see you all next week, same time, same channel, right here on Reactivate the Moment TV. And I hope to see you all bright and early at 12 noon. I know it ain't bright early, but 12 noon sharp. I can't wait to see you all. Have a great and prosperous week. And I'll see you all next week. I love you all. There's nothing you can do about it. Peace out.